It's your boy Big Star, Raw Sports here, the Raw Sports Show here with a very special friend of mine. I love this time of year. If all else, one, we're all hoop junkies, but for me, this is like, this is like my family reunion type of year. I know if I don't see you at all throughout the year, I'm at least, see you at a couple hoop games. And this for me is, us in the hoop culture. We're all one big family.
Yes.
So it's always a blessing to see you, man. Always, with smile, big hugs and all that kind of stuff, man. It's a special time of year for myself, man. So if you can, re-officially introduce yourself to the people, man.
JOHN Mosco, head coach, Archbishop Wood High School. We play in the Philadelphia Catholic League.
One of the toughest leagues in the country.
Yeah, thank you. Yes.
No doubt. All right, we're going to do something different today. Here on the Raw Sports Show, we want the people to get a chance to know who Coach Mosco is on a whole nother level off the court or whatever. We're going to play a game. It's called 10 Random Questions. I'm going to just shoot 10 random things at you, and you just let me know whatever comes to mind. We cool with that?
You got it.
All right, so let me know who, and let the people know who Diane Mosco was and why was she so special?
Diane was my wife. We were married 28 years. She was diagnosed in November before our 2017 season with cancer. She went through chemo, and that was like a dream season for us with Colin Gillespie. We lost our first 2 games. Then we lost at home to Father Judge, and we had 3 losses, and our wall falls down at the school. Wow. So afterwards, we had to play all the games while she's going for chemo. And we had to play all the games on the road or neutral sites, and we didn't lose after that. And we brought, first time Archbishop Wood ever went to the Palestra, first Catholic League championship for Archbishop Wood, and first state championship, all while she was in attendance. And then she went in for bone marrow transplant the following May, never made it out of hospital, and passed away in September. So this past September was 7 years. With the help of she was my wife, my love, the mother of my 2 children. She was just a special person. She was a nurse, but she always had a smile on her face no matter what was going on.
No doubt. Well, this is not one of my 10 random questions, but can I have a hug, Coach?
Yes.
Bless you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you for being transparent. Thank you for who you are, man.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing that. Over the years, when you talk about, when the wall fell, you guys had to go on the road and play games. Over the years, throughout coaching, what's one of your favorite gyms to play in Pennsylvania? Like one of your favorite gyms, like
well,
a legendary
of course,
gym?
it's always going back to Newman Goretti, because I went to Newman and I coached there for 18 years with Carl. But, the legendary gym is to play in the Palestra. When you get to go to the Palestra, and I went there plenty of times with Newman and Coach Carl. But walking out that first year as a head coach, it was totally different. Being on the sidelines where all the great coaches, Chuck Daly coached University of Penn, Roy Massimino was on that, coaching there, Jay Wright, Phil Martelli, et cetera, plus Dennis Seddon, all high school great coaches, Dennis Seddon, Carl Argyle, Speedy Morris.
Legendary.
So legendary to be, to be one of them. And I never got in this business like that. I got in with Carl by accident, and the Palestra, and also playing at Reading.
No doubt.
Reading is probably in the top 3.
No doubt, absolutely. Over the years, who were a few of the best? I don't want to say best. Well, a few of the top players who just kind of throw out some names that you've coached over the years. You mentioned Colin Gillespie.
Colin Gillespie, one of the best ones is Jaquan Newton. He won 11 out of 12 championships, state, Catholic League, and district. Jalil Bethea, of course, Tommy Funk here, Fresh Kimball, Lamont Fulton at Newman. I'm going to miss somebody, B.D. Taylor. It's just a list. I've been very fortunate to coach a lot of great players, Luke Conahan, that played for me here. So,
absolutely. No doubt. Did you hoop yourself? Do you have hoop history?
I played football at Wood. At Newman. Newman, I played basketball outside.
Okay.
But no.
So what was your go-to? Did you have a jump shot?
I was just a rebounder and passed the ball out to guys like Carl.
No doubt. What's one of your most memorable games that you've coached over the years? A game where, I'm sure it's tons, but a game where it's like, man, that game right there was insane.
I'm not sure exactly how many years ago, but it was here in the Diane Mosco event. We played Paul VI from Virginia.
I was there.
7 overtimes.
I was there. Yep.
130, 128. We lost. And Yeah, Glenn Farrell is a great friend of mine. He came up here to play the game. They had Trevor Keels,
Jeremy Roach,
yeah. Doug McDaniel, somebody else that made the NBA. We had Sewell Diggins,
yeah.
Shepard hit a 3, and it was just a great game.
I remember that game like yesterday.
Yes.
Two things that stick out to me about that game was some of my fellow camera guys, like some of them couldn't hang.
Yes.
Like after the third overtime, one guy was like, "Yo, man, it's getting late. I gotta leave." And another guy was like, "Yo, my battery's dying. I gotta roll." But Big Star was hanging in there.
I had to leave
after 5 overtimes and 6 overtimes. I called my one camera guy. I said, "Bro, you need to come back. It's still going on."
I had to leave after 5 overtimes to run in to go to the bathroom. And what I remember, was Colin Gillespie came down from the stands to coach us. And I forget the Villanova.
That's crazy.
I forget the Villanova player that went to Paul VI. He was in their huddle coaching
that's
them.
crazy.
It was.
I needed TV time. I go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I went to the bathroom. I came out, the tip was going. The referee everybody still talks about that.
Another thing that stuck out was Deshaun Shepard. It's like each overtime ended in legendary fashion.
Yes.
Like it was like a buzzer beater to go to the next overtime or something else.
Yes.
It just like everybody, everybody refused to lose. That game was insane.
We had to drive. We went to the airport to go to Hawaii, and they had to drive 4 hours to get
home.
Exactly.
So
that's one of the legendary ones.
No doubt. One food for the rest of your life, what would it be? Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you can only eat one thing.
Pasta?
Gotcha.
Italian.
Okay. Outside of a player bringing his ball game to the table, what's one quality that you really appreciate that you think is super important that they bring to the table? Being coachable. Just a good attitude. You have to have a great attitude.
And you got to be willing to learn.
Gotcha. What's one of your favorite things about coaching?
Staying young with the kids, being around a bunch of great people. Like you said, this is family. And 7 years ago, when my wife passed away, like the basketball community just was special. Like we've known each other, but we got to know each other through this. And but all the coaches, Big Five coaches, all the players that we coached against, they all have respect for me, with the situation. And my 2 kids, JD and Nick, they all take care of them. When something goes wrong, we're all together.
Got you. Another like history, I'm big on history. You talked about your players, inside the Wood organization that you've coached over the year. Who are some of the top players that you've coached against in the Philly area that kind of stick out to you?
I was an assistant, but one of them was Donnie Carr, of course, for the Cavic League.
Legendary.
When we were at Newman, we beat Kevin Durant when he was with Montrose Christian. With Newman, we were 3-0 against Montrose Christian. One of the greatest games besides the one we were in, when I was at Newman, we played Yates. In Hawaii, they finished number 1, we finished number 2, and we lost 96-97. No shot clock, just up and down, great play. So they had Joe Young. I mean, I've been fortunate. When Carl took over Newman and I was an assistant, we were able to build a program and go places, and we played against top competition all over the place. So I've been very fortunate to see some great players to play against.
No doubt. Last question, the Diane Mosco Foundation, the charitable, efforts and why we're here, talk to the people about that, and then, tell them why it's so important to come out and support the foundation.
And again, I've been lucky over the years. We have been able to raise over $25,000 with the last 6 events. And it all goes to scholarships for St. Hubert's, where Diane went, for girls, and Archbishop Wood for the girls at Archbishop Wood, and projects that Wood has. We redid the principal conference room for them, stuff like that. So it's a great foundation to give back to girls that want to move on and go to college, or they're having trouble paying. I mean, everybody wants to worry about college tuition. People have trouble paying high school tuitions now at these schools. So we try to find someone that unfortunately might have had a problem financially, parents, or maybe a parent got diagnosed. And, both schools were great with us, helping out, picking seniors, just need help with no essays, no nothing, just good kids that need help to graduate or go to their prom or stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No doubt. Well, I appreciate your time. It's Big Star, Raw Sports Show here.
And again, I always appreciate Big Star.
Absolutely.
All over for everything. One of the best in the business.
I appreciate you, man. Well, thank you for your time. You keep it going with the Mosco Foundation.
Yes.
In memory of the awesome Miss Diane Mosco. And I hope you stay young forever.
Yeah,
man.
thank you.
Hopefully, we're doing a interview on your 80th birthday. Like, Coach, it's your 80th birthday.
If I'm still coaching,
you're still in the game, Coach. You're still on the sidelines, Coach. But hey, God bless you, man. Thank you for everything. We appreciate you, Coach.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay.